Cool. Yeah. We've got to write a story about horses.
Horses. Scary, spooky horses, or regular horses that are even spookier.
I don't know. I would have asked Salad, but he's gone. So we're gonna have to make one up, and we can send it to him. Send it to him afterwards. Here's
Like
your
a good
fucking
morning
horse
wish.
story.
This is the horse story.
Here's your fucking horse story. Right. So, where do we start our horse story? What do we start with? Should I
The name of the horse, of course.
name of the horse? I feel like I should switch to like a Google Docs. Hang on.
Yes.
And then we can type it up in that. Let's make sure I'm on my streamer email Google Docs. Okay, hang on a second. No, I don't care about pageless formats. Fuck off. One sec. Hey, there we go. And then we do a display capture. Yeah, there we go. That's the stuff.
Ooh, wonderful.
Right. So what are we going to start with? So we're going to start. So we've got a horror story about horses. So
Horses.
is it that there's something wrong with the horse? I mean, obviously there's something wrong with the horse. They're horses, but do we have like seemingly normal horses that are like hiding something inside themselves? Do we have like the horses that maybe they're trying to hide the fact that they're intelligent?
Horses intelligent? I'm scared. I think they are just trying to hide their true
Their true
course,
nature.
what they want.
So we got
Yeah.
horses trying to hide their true nature. What's their true nature? Like
They wanna
like,
eat us. They wanna eat everything.
Okay. Consume everything. How can they consume everything? Can they just like unhinge their jaws and like become a giant mouth? Like the mouth from Beetlejuice, you know, when like
that one.
their horse's heads open with a big wide mouth, like can you just like hoover vacuum? So we call vacuums hoovers. Like for some reason we use the brand term for them and vacuum everything up.
And they literally have like voids inside them, so everything that goes in goes to the void. But where's the other side of the horse void? I would actually love to see the horse void. Because after all, if there is a like black hole or a void, there should be in theory there's another plane it
connects to the horse, the horseverse, the horse universe.
Yes, okay. The true horseverse. like Marvel has multiverse and so on, but they have horseverse.
The horseverse, okay.
The horseverse.
The horseverse of madness.
Yes, the horseverse of definite madness.
So we got horses who've got like vacuum mouths. That connects to a void. What's right? So do we have that someone discovers this horsey void? Do we have that someone discovers that the horses consume things? Like what's the crux?
It should be like the first thing is that someone sees it from the corner of their eye.
Ooh, okay.
So they only like suspect it, but they just saw something. But when they actually look at it, it's a normal horse. Are you just imagining things like this?
Okay.
And eventually they think they are going mad, even though the horses are actually doing things.
Mm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do people like start going missing or something?
Most likely it should start with like smaller things like cats and wild animals, and
Okay.
some like if people find uh like half of a bunny or just
Okay.
bird wings and stuff that they haven't consumed all at once, that they left some evidence behind.
It's in a bar. You but surely if they've got like a void that they can just suck stuff into, there wouldn't be any evidence. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but what if what if
Like they leave nothing behind. Like maybe except for
yeah,
like a
that's
pair of
true.
shoes or something from like a person.
But if they're like closing the horses have the jaws they have. If they're
Yeah.
like closing the jaws,
It just snaps shut. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and some like if bird wings clip there and the wings left behind, but the birds are going in. Like if they're like eating a full nest of all little flock
Okay.
of birds, some of them are goners and some of them go to the horsey bears.
Are things alive in the Horseverse, or did they die? What's
I
the
don't think
atmosphere like
I
in the
don't think
Horseverse?
I don't think they die. I think they kind of like meld in together. Like
Ooh.
if there's a flock of birds, they will be like the Rat King idea,
Okay.
but but with like birds and other things. Like they just smash up together, and they
Okay.
are like part alive, part dead, part something, and also part horse.
Yeah,
Hello,
that,
Cinnabar. How are you doing?
that should be the tagline, like half alive, half dead, all horse.
They are all horse now.
There's the game we've been playing recently, Grim Dawn, has one of the enemy factions. They're called the Ethereals. There's like two enemy factions. There's the Catonics, which are like they're like creatures from like a evil dimension, and they're basically like Lovecraftian monsters, like fleshy nonsense that kind of come out of nowhere. And there's another faction called Ethereals, which are like these creatures that come from another dimension again, who oppose the Catonics, and their theme is like crystals, and they start off kind of like crystals jammed into bodies that sort of mutate it, and then you get onto later stuff, and as you like fight their stronger and stronger things, you find out that they're using humans to gain physical form, but their idea of a physical form is not human form. So they're like taking humans and mashing them together to make like big flesh golems, and then you get to like the areas they've completely taken over, and it's like just thousands of bodies melded together, and like you've got people flailing around in bits and pieces and like teeth everywhere, and it's really wonderfully gross.
And juicy.
Yeah. But that's just thinking of like the idea of
Juicy, meaty.
just things smooshed together.
Is it a bad thing that makes me hungry?
Not at all. Now I can find get my I don't care. Yeah, I know my Steam class out of there. I don't give a fuck. Like gloopy, juicy stuff. One pictures of it. Maybe my screenshots. I don't really want to show on disc. Yeah, there's it's pretty horrible. Just like flailing bodies and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. And you just kind of work your way through it.
That's grotesque and in a good way.
Yeah, so I was thinking like you could have like just skipping ahead. like at one point, like so maybe people start going missing. They figure out it's the horse. I mean, it's just one horse. Like it's just a single horse. Is
One
the problem?
horse.
Like yeah, you know how Stephen King loves doing his plot is like it appears to be something normal, but it's actually like a gateway to another dimension, like from a Buick 8 where it's a car but it's actually a hole into another world. What if instead of what if it's just one horse but the horse is actually like a hole into the horseverse? So not all horses are like this, just one horse.
Just the one horse.
And they find out like
likely...
it's this one horse and like they capture the horse. They capture the horse. And they hold its mouth open, and one guy goes in on a rope and a harness and to find people. And like he's rappelling down into the horseverse, like rappelling into the horseverse. And he finds people who went missing. They're merged together, screaming in agony. They wish to die, but they cannot die in the horseverse. Because the
and
concept
I'm pretty
of
sure the
death
horse
is dead itself. I don't know.
The horse also consumed some other horses that they weren't there, so they are kind of like centauric, horrific creatures with horses and humans and other animal parts.
They fuse with the horrible horse parts too, and this like the horrific amalgamation is screaming, and the guy who went in is screaming too. And then the horse's mouth snaps shut. End of movie.
Credit roll, zooming to the teeth.
Yeah, that's technically actually stealing from another really good horror movie where the ending is just like they figure out they're inside a monster and then the monster like closes his mouth and like, we're fucked. Which I don't want to spoil
like,
what movie it is
now.
now
you know.
Oh yeah, I've got Sunday to play. I'll get around to it eventually. Yeah, this is. There we go. There's a horrible horse movie. A single evil horse is connected to the horseverse that eats people.
What is the horse's name, though?
Steve. Steve the horse.
Steve.
There you go.
Steve the horse.
Steve the horse. I don't know. We can give him a fancy name, but Steve just seems funnier.
Steve the horse.
It's so mundane. Like a ridiculously mundane name, and then actually he's connected to a horrible, twisted other dimension that consumes everything.
But was Steve always like this?
You don't know. If giving away too much like that spoils the horror of it. You don't want to explain the origins of Steve. Steve is just he's the horse. He's the original horse. He's the first horse ever. Every other horse is just a pale imitation that he's vomited out from the horse dimension. I don't know, something like that.
Kind of like a vampire horse that he's always been there, but no one is like noticed that it's always the same horse. They just suspect that the horses look the same, but it's always the same horse. In every picture of your grandma has this horse, you have this horse, and your ancestors with the same horse, but you are always like, it's the ancestors' horse that looked like this horse. Yeah. And we call it Steve.
Yeah, it's just always called Steve, going back through many
Maybe at some
many
point
centuries.
It was Steven or Stephead Sean or
whatever variation of Steve or Stephen that you had in whatever language. It's been called Steve. It's the origin of the name Steve. There's a really, really terrible vampire movie called Dracula 2000. and it's
Oh,
one
sounds
of
good.
it's one of the worst vampire films ever, which in turn makes it one of the best. And it's really, really goofy. It had fucking Gerard Butler as Count Dracula.
What?
I completely forgot about that. Like, before Gerard Butler was famous, it was one of his early roles. And yeah, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. But the main
But
crux of the
usually horror
film,
movies that are really, really bad are actually at some point they are good because of the fancies.
kind of, but also not.
Yeah, depends on the company and everything.
I like it's been based on Dracula by Bram Stoker. No, it's fucking not. But the crux of the story is that Dracula was actually Judas, and that because of his like betraying Jesus, he was cursed to become a vampire, and he's weak to silver because of the 30 pieces of silver he got from Jesus' betrayal. And then like he can only die if he tried to hang himself after he betrayed Jesus, but then he wasn't allowed to die, and the only way he can die again is if he tries to hang himself and then gets caught in the sunlight. Like, it's really, really, really stupid. But I'm trying to think of like the Judas of horses. Like the horse that has been around since forever.
Did he betray the? Maybe he actually betrayed the one true horse in the beginning.
The one true horse.
And in because of that he swallowed the horse whole, and the one true horse became the horsey verse, and Steve is the one carrying the one true horse all the time inside his body and needs to feed it all the time.
So
he needs to feel the pain of everyone who is going in.
He ate the son of the horse god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And now he's punished forever.
Yeah. See,
oh, Stephen, poor Stephen.
We went from like entertaining found footage, like English countryside folklore kind of movie to 2000s cheesy American horror movie with a metal soundtrack. Perfect.
Definitely a banging metal soundtrack.
We ran the gamut from like, yeah, from recent good horror to 2000s bad horror. Fucking horses.
Apparently horses can do anything.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's why they call the Swiss horsey knife. Yeah, they can do anything. That's what they call it, right?
I'm quite sure that's why. Right? Most likely.
That's what Google says. It's fine. All right. We get. I guess we'll highlight this part. We'll send it to Salop. He can enjoy it.
Yeah.
He can enjoy it later. Here's your fucking horror story about Steve the horse. Steve the horse. The horse.
Maybe Salop could make it into a comic or something. It would be so cute.
Or horrifying.
Yeah, both.
Either way.
Both. Cute and horrifying.
Oh, why not both?
It's the same thing, right?
¿Por qué no los dos? Yeah. Okay. Right. Shall we stop things there and raid someone before we get even weirder?